The song Varushka actually was, it's over 10 years, the music for it, the chords and stuff is over 10 years old. That was supposed to be a start of a track for the second 1-2 album that never happened. And I just found it, because when in lockdown, you know, Andy kept saying, you got any chords, you got any ideas, you got any backing tracks? And I just sort of trawled through my hard drive, and I'd totally forgotten about it. And I thought, oh, maybe Andy will like that. And I sent it to him, and he put an absolutely beautiful vocal on it. So.
And then it sat there for 2 years with a chorus and no verse.
Yeah.
And then I was just going, what have I got to do to make this into a completed song? And I was looking at the title, because Paul just says Paul's working title was Varushka. So I just Googled the word Varushka, and up comes a film noir. And I'm like, film noir? I will create a whole series of verbal images and lyrics and landscapes that have film noir references or film noir kind of subject matter. So the verses are all derived from film noir subjects. Slow Train was a piece of music I had for a while. Again, I wanted to play with fat analog synths, and it has a kind of 70s glam rock swing to it. And I did a scat vocal, but I didn't know if it was working. And then I started actually recording some music with a young girl called Katrina Canapé. And she just said, oh, are you working on your own music? And she said, can I hear it? And I played her Slow Train. She just went, oh, can I sing on that? And I said, yeah, get a mic here. Have you got an idea? She did the la la la. I went, that is now the melody. Now I've actually got to go back into my scat vocals and actually work out what could I actually have said here and make words out of this. So yeah, her crazy idea kind of unlocked the song really, and it's probably the one on the album that kind of sounds least like orchestral maneuvers as well, but it still is. And again, it's got lots of energy, and we will see if we can play it live, because it could sound like World War III, but it could sound amazing.
Could sound great. Yeah, we have to get it in the rehearsal. Yeah, Anthropocene is funny because it's one of those songs that we've kind of done in the past where we'll take two completely different ideas, something I've done and something Andy's done, and we'll just mesh them together. Because it originally, I mean, you've been thinking about writing Anthropocene anyway, and I'd written this kind of, it's almost like a dance track really, but with all these kind of melodies, and it just kind of this track sort of evolved, and so I sent it to Andy, and you just thought, well, that's the track for the idea.
Instantly,
your idea.
Instantly, yeah. I mean, I had two completely different sounding tracks for Anthrop. I was determined to write a song for Anthrop. Two completely different tracks that really weren't working, and they had the text-to-speak vocal on, the 1 million years from now, global human population is all of that. But when Paul sent me the music, I just went, oh, hallelujah! I'm going to take these vocals off and put them on there. And instantly it was like, okay, this is now working. And then it was a case of like, can I write a lyric? Now, Anthropocene, for those who don't know, is what the current geological era is now called. We're basically, people are saying that the human beings, the Homo sapiens, are going to create their own geological era. And in millions of years to come, when we're long gone, as we will be, if there's a sentient species on the planet, they will look at that and go, oh, that's where the humans were, that's where the Homo sapiens were, that's where the lead and the nuclear and the carbon and the plastic, that's that layer there. So Anthropocene is looking at the influence that human beings actually have on our geological era. Typical OMD song, really. Autocracy, another title that I wanted to write. Obviously, I'm still an angry young left-wing man, or an angry old left-wing man. And I've just been really, really upset with the state of the world and politics, where you just feel like it doesn't matter who you vote for. the lobbyists and the big industry have spent so much money buying their way into politics that nobody's going to act against the people who funded the politicians. Also, we were furious about Brexit, so we needed to get something in there about the dirty slogans on the red bus door, "The narcissist stole the exit." And Saudi money over Central Park Khashoggi's body got dissected. There's a lot of anger and a lot of vitriol. I think it's probably the most political I've been ever. And we'll see how people respond to it. But I was very angry. Healing started with the water droplets, and Paul gave me some very beautiful chords, and then I didn't know what to do with it. And it sat there with writer's block for a couple of years. And then again, in lockdown, one of my friends who's a wonderful singer-songwriter called Caroline England, who's been nagging me to actually, write with me, do something with her. I said, I've got a track. See if you can unlock the words on that. And she did.
She wrote some beautiful words.
Caroline wrote the words, and I just that sound like my words. I can sing those. So it was really, it was a beautiful combination of Paul and myself and Caroline's words. And I think it's possibly my favourite track on the album.
Possibly mine.
On a very kind of prosaic, simple musician level, I upgraded my computer system and I had loads of new toys in there. We've always found when we've got new synths, it was exciting. So I wanted to play around, started playing with an 808 drum machine, which everybody will know is one of the oldest classic sounds. And that drum pattern started like that. Then I started using analog synths, and I just wanted this fat noise. And instantly, I started singing "I Want to Kiss on the Bauhaus Staircase." It's one of those moments where I didn't have any words for Bauhaus Staircase, but the music inspired me, and then I just started writing that. So that was one of the nice moments when you just go, "Oh, the lyric just came out of my mouth." So that was very exciting. I think it's a great starter to the album, and I think it's a great time.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great live song as well. I can't wait to get it out on stage because it's quite energetic and with all these screaming synths, so it'll be fun to play as well. We did it as the 40th single for the 40th anniversary album, and it was actually going to be a B-side, but wasn't it? Yeah. And then we just decided.
No, we thought it had something in it that was going to be too good for a B-side, so we kept it. We released it, and then Paul, when we were mixing the Bauhaus Staircase album, Paul said to me, have a listen to the mix of Don't Go, because I don't think it sounds like the rest of the album. I don't think it's clean and punchy enough. And he was right. So basically, Paul wanted to remix it. Yeah. And secondly, and perhaps maybe more importantly, we didn't want it to be an orphan track. It's on a compilation album, but we'd like it to have a home. And I think it sits well on Bauhaus Staircase. So for those two reasons, that's why it's on.
Well, we thought the first album was going to be our last album, and here we are, many albums in. Never say never, but we seem to sort of do an album every 5 years or something. So in 5 years' time, we're going to be quite a bit older than we are now. So it's a question of, do we have the energy? Do we have the time? Do we want to spend several years in the studio in our sort of...
If we do an
late 60s.
Yeah, if we do an album, it's got to be good. It's pretty cool and comfortable being Orchestral Lives in the Dark at our age now. We have a nice catalogue, we have people who say nice things about us, and the last thing we want to do is do a crap album.
Yeah.
So we have, I think, contemporized ourselves with the previous 3 that we've done since we reformed that have all been very well received. So hopefully Bauhaus Staircase will fit in and everybody will go, yep, that was worth doing. But it's so hard when you've done 200 plus pieces of music to come up with something that is a new lyric, is a new concept, is a new melody, is a new chord sequence. You know, it's much easier being an artist or a painter. You can do variations on a theme. You know, how many nudes did Picasso do of Marie-Thérèse Walter? You know, it's just knock them out, you know, 2 a day. If you're a musician, you're not allowed to do that. People are just waiting to go, oh, that sounds like something else you did. Yeah. So you have to really trawl yourself to find something you haven't done before. And it's hard. So right now, having finished Bauhaus Staircase, I would say, no, we're not going to make another one. But who knows?
I mean, I'm just happy to be out of the studio now because it's been quite a process, you know. So, but I'm sure I'll want to head back into the studio at some point. And you know, we're always switched on. We always have ideas. So who knows? You know, maybe we won't do a whole full album. Maybe we'll release an EP or something in the future. Who knows? But at the moment, we're just kind of happy that we've got this album finished and we're actually finally happy with it and we've delivered it. So.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Did you enjoy that? Very good. We're just about to do a Q&A with the band now. So if I could just reintroduce to the stage Andy McCluskey and Paul Humphreys.
Half a pint of Rioja, I've earned it. He's left his in the dressing room to make himself look like he's not an alky.
We better get through this quick because I've got to get back to my wife.
Hey. This won't take long.
Hello, Ed.
Hello.
Ed. Nice to see you.
So we've got some questions for you that were sent in by fans on the internet who should be watching now. We're live on the internet as well as in here in beautiful London. So let's crack on with it. Questions about Bauhaus Staircase and the forthcoming tour. But the first question we have is from Catherine Michelle Snazzle, and it's a pretty simple one. What's your favourite song on the album and why?
Well, I've just discovered in the last few days that I love singing Verushka. So and just to prove I was doing it live, I actually screwed up the words in the penultimate chorus.
Yeah, I heard,
second time.
Which time? The first time or second time?
The second time.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to prove it was live. But Paul, what's yours? Do you have one?
I love Anthropocene, actually. I'm very happy with that track. It was quite an interesting track because it was a perfect.
It was a reject.
It was a reject. Yeah, I did it for an advert. The music I did for an advert, and Andy had started the whole concept of Anthropocene, which was amazing. But he had a different piece of music, and so
his was better.
But his concept was amazing. So it was a perfect example of how well we worked together.
Very good. Question.
Can you see us at the back? Let's stand up.
Yeah,
should we stand up?
We can't see you.
Sorry.
Go.
Okay, can they see us on the internet? They can see us on the internet.
Okay,
fine.
good.
Just don't see my
very
belly.
good.
Yeah, you can just see my belly on the internet.
Okay.
I said Verushka. I like singing it.
Okay.
Attention, woman. Go to the back of the class, Miss Gray.
So the next one, a bit of a nerdy one coming. This is from Alice Hubble. What's your favourite piece of kit that you used in the recording of the album?
I mean, it has to be the software Pro Tools. I mean, the Pro Tools kind of saved us because it was one of the first albums that we've done not in the same room. Mm-hmm. And
that's why it's so good.
Exactly, yeah. Well, in future, this is how we need to work. But because I was no, just kidding. I was locked down in France, right, during the pandemic, and I couldn't get out.
Doesn't your heart bleed for me?
It was
down
really,
in the
really
south
tough.
of France.
Honestly, it was really hard. The weather was just terrible, and Andy was in Liverpool. But it was the first time we hadn't, made the kernel of the idea together, and then we go off and do our own thing. So Pro Tools kind of saved us because Andy invested in his system and
I got a system that matched his, so we could send things.
So we could send files.
Which was great because I got a whole load of new synths, which I hadn't. So
yeah, you were totally
new
inspired
toys.
by the
new toys make new songs, so it was great fun. Yeah. So
there you go.
Pro Tools.
Yeah, so I guess following on from that, we got one from Steve Sharp asking, did you use any older sounds for the album? Particularly the title track, I can hear sounds that really remind me of the first few records, but with modern effects.
We used soft versions of them. They're all in the box. We used Roland 808s, we used Mellotrons, SH1s.
Yeah,
I mean, the screaming synth is an SH1, but it's not an original analog. It's and the purists hate us for not using the originals, but having carried them around for years, they weigh a ton and they go out of tune. We much prefer.
But then they
ones.
sound like the originals. I mean, we used the SH1 quite a bit on the, which is one we used on the first two albums, didn't we? Yes.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
Very good. Question from John next, which is, where did the inspiration come for the title Bauhaus Staircase for the album?
Over to you.
Okay. As you know, I'm the art geek and Paul is the electronics geek. I have a particular passion for early to mid 20th century art. I love the Bauhaus. I've been wanting to write a song called Bauhaus Staircase for a while. Started making notes. Never write the lyrics until you've got the music, because then you get locked into a pattern, and the music always has to come before you take your notes and distill out the lyrics. The Bauhaus was an amazing school. it was practical art. It wasn't kind of esoteric art for art's sake art. It was practical art. But even then, the Nazis shut them down in 1933 because totalitarian regimes don't like art. And I'm not going to equate the Conservative government to the Nazis.
No, we couldn't do that.
COVID was quite difficult for artists. They, bless them, they gave money to the people who worked for museums and art galleries, but they didn't give money to musicians and actors and dancers. In fact, you all remember that lovely poster about today she's a ballet dancer. Next year she could be an IT expert.
Yes.
Basically, if you're creative, you're worth nothing. So, that made me want to write about basically the power of art, because it inspires us. And as we discovered in lockdown, I mean, it was hard and it was shit, but we missed having the creative stuff that we feed off. So that's why it's Bauhaus Staircase.
Very good. Moving on to the tour next year.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it.
We are really looking forward to it.
We're going to play Verushka 7 times a night.
I was going to go for 8, but all right. 7.
Very good. Very good. I mean, this question's kind of related to that. With the excitement of the new album being released, this is a question from Derek Bennett. How many songs from the album will make it onto the set list for the tour?
Well, we're kind of discussing this at the moment, actually.
We were discussing it.
Yeah, we're just discussing this backstage. Because there's quite a lot of songs that we'd like to play, but obviously, we're not going to play the whole album because Listen, you guys would love the whole album, but the average people who come to a gig want to hear the hits. But I'll tell you what, one thing we just did discuss, because everybody loves Verushka. They might have issues with the video. And by the way, the video. All I need to tell you is, if you have a problem with her unnatural movement, just remember Voigtkampf test. All right, go and Google it when you go home if you don't know what it means. But now you've heard the album. Healing might have to be played as well. Yeah. So you're gonna have to pick your gigs, because we might flip them every night. Yeah.
That'll keep you on your toes. So and
Look at You Now as well seems to be quite popular. Yeah. So we were just discussing So I think we might rehearse a lot of the songs and then rotate them.
But, well, I mean, I follow what people say on Facebook, and the one thing I'm loving is the fact that there's apart maybe from Healing and Look at You Now, everybody's got different favourites, and I'm really liking that.
Yeah,
I think hopefully it means that there's a quality right across. It's not like there's one standout, Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what we're going to play, but we're probably going to end up mixing it up a bit, I think.
Yeah. Very exciting. We've got a question.
Say that with more conviction, Ed.
It genuinely is exciting.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm from the record company. I want you to play all of them.
Just because you're not going to be with us on tour,
beating
us
sad,
up to
isn't it? I know.
Honestly, we're going to miss him.
I'll come to some of the shows.
Yeah, you need to.
Lots of the shows.
Yeah,
most of the shows.
Most of the shows.
Got a question from Neil. You've said a few times that this album could very well be the last OMD album.
Well, we'll see.
But will this be the last OMD tour?
No,
probably not.
No.
That's what we want to hear, isn't it? That's the right answer.
We have. It's very, very, very exhausting trying to drag ideas out of yourself to make a new album.
I mean, this has been like a 3 or 4 year pregnancy, and then finally the baby comes out. So.
How long?
You know what I mean?
What? 3 or 4 years?
Are you a whale?
I mean, really, in the last sort of 3-4 years, it's been really intense, hasn't it? We're working on this album. So, it takes us a long time.
Well, it's been intense for me. You were swanning around in the south of France.
Of course, yeah. I was just sort of chilling out in the sun by the pool, But
in the sun by the pool, exactly. I rest
that's
my
what he
case.
thinks I do, yeah. But anyway, so, I mean, it took us it was a hard slog, and we're not getting any younger. So, but I mean, we still obviously have a lot of enthusiasm from being in OMD. We're loving being in OMD. It's great fun. So as long as we have the energy, we'll keep playing gigs, and never say never. Really.
That's the right answer.
But if it is the last one, it's a good one to finish on.
Exactly. Yeah, I concur with him.
So we got another
Listen,
one.
I'm going to go back to this.
Go on.
One of my problems has been for the last few years is getting Paul to actually want to do a new album, because he was sat on his little island going, Punishment of Luxury is great. I don't think we can beat it. I don't think we can do anything better than Punishment of Luxury.
He's right.
Let's not make a shit album, because Punishment of Luxury is a good way to go out. And I was like, but if you're too afraid to fly...
How will you? Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Fair enough. Question from Mick Horn. In a few interviews, Andy's kind of suggesting...
I like the rapping technique, you're holding it like that.
Yeah.
They need to hear me. In some interviews, Andy's suggesting that you're going to have a bit of a rest from doing UK and European festivals next summer. Does this mean an American tour is coming?
Oh yeah,
It does indeed.
No, we haven't put it on sale yet. We haven't told you about it, but yeah, I mean, absolutely. The thing is, we just need to take a summer off because Paul wants to sit in his swimming pool in the sunshine. And
He's right, I do actually. And, it's been a hell of a couple of years.
Sitting in a swimming pool in the sunshine. Yeah. So
I'm going to kill him backstage, by the way. Just
with wine.
No, with the bottle that the wine came in.
But I've lost the case. I've lost the plot
sorry,
now. What were we talking about? What
America.
We were talking about
Oh yeah, no,
America,
listen.
touring.
No, we definitely are going to America in the fall. And hopefully, obviously, we'll be out in Canada and hopefully Mexico and going down into South America as well.
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
it will be a busy year, but not many festivals. In fact, no festivals.
No festivals.
No festivals, fair enough. So here's the...
We'll leave them to Adamant and Soft Cell.
Fair enough.
Good luck to them.
Here's the very important question. Which song from the new record is going to provide Andy with the best dance moves on stage?
Well, I think it's going to be Anthropocene because he's got fuck all to do in that song. I mean, just saying.
He gave me a 90-second piece of music and I made it into 6 minutes for a reason. For a reason.
So we could just dance like a crazy
No, I'm going to walk off stage and leave you to pass around. I'm going to do what Fred Schneider does in the B-52s and walk off stage, have another bottle of wine backstage, and then come back on. Yeah, probably Anthropocene. Yeah, you're right.
Fair enough.
Oh, Slow Train. Yeah, Slow Train could be quite funky. I'll see if Alison Goldfrapp has got some hot pants I can borrow.
Hey, I want to see that, don't you?
Oh, very good.
I like the black shirt and the red tie, by the way. I wondered where my red tie had gone.
Yeah. I lost mine as well. We got two.
Fair enough. Back to the music. Question from Gary Dorr. Are there any tracks that didn't quite make the album which could be used as B-sides?
Yes, actually. And tomorrow you can hear them.
Yeah.
Are they digitally available?
They are digitally
They
available.
will be available digitally on the OMD website tomorrow for a limited period before they become actual B-sides. We'll tell you more about it on social media tomorrow. But yes, there's a few B-sides around, and you'll get to hear them tomorrow.
I like rock drill.
So do I.
Yeah, I like rock.
Yeah, rock drill is kind of... It's an Epstein statue. Of course, it's a piece of art, you know. But it's nice and nice. Oh, and I bought a Speak and Spell because I needed the words butcher and engineer in the song.
So there's a hint for that one.
Love a bit of self-referential music. Cool. We're going to move on to the artwork of the album.
Yes.
And we've got a question from Murrin, which is, what was the artistic inspiration and drive behind the album cover?
We seem to have different opinions. You like the original Petch painting, don't you?
Yeah, because John Petch did the Punishment of Luxury album, and he did a version of Bauhaus Staircase, which I loved.
It's an amazing painting.
It's an
I
amazing
just thought
painting.
it was a little busy, and some of the colours echoed the previous ones.
But then we've used both, haven't we? Really?
Yeah, we've used. So you mean you've probably seen them. There's the really colourful one, and then actually we'll let you into a secret. This is how well planned things go. Right? We had the Petch sleeve, and I was like, okay, I like it. I'm not sure, but I like it. There's something I like it. And then the album was supposed to be released this spring, but Paul was busy in his swimming pool.
Yeah.
So
Not true. Don't believe what he says.
So
anyway, just
we were going to do it. We were
going
going to do a teaser T-shirt, right? A teaser T-shirt for the album. trust you to say wet T-shirt, you perv. Right.
For those on the internet, that's
Can you
Steph, obviously.
rewind that? Rewind that on the internet. So, we have this fabulous new merchandising company, and this lovely girl sort of looked at the sleeve and said, well, if I distill something out, I'll take the staircase, turn it on its side, and put it on a grey T-shirt. And I went, that's the sleeve. So that's how a record sleeve happens, totally by chance. Guy. It was just like, I went, that's the minimal, simple thing I was looking for, and I couldn't get my head around it. So we've got 2 sleeves. They're both beautiful. I have the original Petch painting. Do you want to buy it off me?
No. Well, I was offered it. You said I could buy it. Before,
yeah, but it's gone up since you offered to buy it.
It's typical.
Now the album's out, it's gone up, you know.
I might buy it off you.
No, so yeah, that's the genesis of the sleeve.
Fair enough. Well, final question then, which is from Shirley.
It's far too early.
Yeah.
I'll have to take questions from the floor.
No.
I'll have to get back to my wine.
Can somebody just escort Steph out, though?
Happily. No, we have a question from Shirley, which is the Cine 1080 promo videos have the feel of something intended for a much bigger screen. What have they brought to the songs, and are they going to be doing any visuals for the tour?
Well, that's quite a question, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
Go on, talk us through the process.
We were absolutely blessed. I have to say, I searched the internet looking for videos for video directors and companies, thinking, you know, who can we use this time? And I didn't find anybody. And Toby at 100% said, well, I've used this
man here.
creative. Who are they again? What are they called?
There he is.
What are they called?
Creative Commission.
Creative Commission. And I said, oh, we're not just going to put something out there for everybody and their dog to try and come up with a video. Anyway, we did because we had no option. We got 56 treatments.
It was something like that. It was
in the 50s.
About 40 of them didn't even warrant sending to you.
You sent
they were just
me
like drawings
6 treatments, but these guys in Hull. Maybe there's nothing else to do in Hull. I don't know.
Harsh.
But,
you're not even touring Hull next year.
We should do. Over the weekend, after we put it on the Creative Commission site, they didn't send us a mood board and a storyline. They created the first 30 seconds of the Bauhaus Staircase video.
As it is now.
Ed sent it to me on my phone. I just went, fuck. Yeah.
That is, I can confirm that is what he said on WhatsApp. That is exactly what he said.
I just went, done. I don't have to read a script. I can see the bloody video.
Want them.
It's amazing. Yeah. And Andy W. and GB and Tracy, who the 3 of them worked there, certainly Andy and GB, they were huge OMD fans. And Andy got Dazzle Ships when he was 16. And
I was going to say, included it in his original message, saying, oh my word, like OMD, fans. I'm a huge fan. Dazzle Ships is my favourite album. And speaking from experience, you always know it's a real fan when they say Dazzle Ships. Other people might have different opinions,
or
but
they're really lying and really want the gig.
If they say Dazzle Ships,
they know
something.
They probably wouldn't have got the gig.
No comment.
So Ed sent it to me. I went, wow. Shared it with Paul. He was like, wow. And then we just went on this journey, and it's been crazy because basically once they started doing Bauhaus, of course they took the 3 colours from the album, they got the references to 1984 and Fahrenheit 451. It was Andy Whitehurst who created the picture gallery at the end of the sleeves. I was just like, none of this was our idea. This was all Cine 1080. They were brilliant. Yeah. And then
this is the dangerous bit.
Yeah.
The expensive bit. Actually, I'll just say that.
He said, we haven't been able to do a lot of commissions during COVID, so we've been doing things. Would you like to see what we've been doing? And I went, oh yes, please. And so he sent me this. Well, you've seen him, the blue synthetic man, and he sent me this astronaut and this chrome robot girl, and I went, ooh. I said to him, I said, you know, the astronaut and the chrome robot girl would work really well on Slow Train. I woke up the next morning, and at 2:30 in the morning, he'd sent me a rough cut of Slow Train with these characters. So then he said, and the blue man can be an Anthropocene. I said, yeah, but it's 6 minutes long. I tell you what, we'll give you some more money. And I said this without consulting
asking
anybody.
without asking me.
I can confirm that.
Or a
yeah.
manager.
Oh,
Actually.
no manager, no Paul, no record company. So, but I was a kid in a toy shop. I was just like, oh my God.
I want that one.
So, and then he sent me, oh, well, if you'd like to see some other stuff, we've got this wooden marionette girl who's walking around the bed and the floating chairs that are used in the slow train. And I said, oh, she'd be great for Verushka. And he listened to the Verushka. He said, no. I'm going to make you a film noir. And he sent me 3.5 minutes, and we'll make a DVD because this is your idea, isn't it? The making of the video.
I think
you've got to see all the footage and all. I mean,
so
and Andy W sent me 3.5 minutes of Verushka with the girl in different haircuts, different clothes, different glasses, hats, and I just went, well, if we're going to go film noir 50s. Let's have her in a social justice haircut to really fuck it up a bit, make it modern. And I mean, the lengths they would go to. I mean, it's like,
it was amazing.
do you mind if I put her in a 1955 Porsche Spider? And I went, the one that James Dean died in. He went, oh, you know your shit. Yes, we're it. That's it. And
there's so many references in there that are
so. And then he said, I think you should be in the Anthropocene video.
Yeah.
Which meant a lot of blue screen running around when we were supposed to have a day off.
Supposed to have a day off.
And Ed was supposed to have a day off.
I was going to say, it's not normally the easiest thing getting you guys in a music video. But on this occasion, it ended up working, didn't it? And it did involve a visit to a haberdashery in West London to buy a makeshift blue screen the other Saturday before the listening party event.
Well, I
came
down to do the listening party, and I sent him. Was it a text or an email? Can't remember. 4:30. Listen, 4:30 on a Friday. Yeah. I said, Andy says that my stuff in front of the white sheet looks shit because I couldn't get the wrinkles out of the sheet, and he can't get rid of them, so he can't cut me out and superimpose me as a hologram.
I had the same problem.
And he had the same problem. So at 4:30 on a Friday 2 weeks ago, I said to Ed, can you get me in a photographic studio with a green or a blue screen? And he was like, that's a real Friday 4:30 question. Thanks, but I'll see what I can do. And then you just went, okay. I've talked to Andy myself, actually, and he said blue would be better against fabric. So Ed went off to the haberdasher's shop at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, took it down to the office, stretched it all out using OMD album boxes to
boxes of Bauhaus Staircase vinyl to get rid of
the and so I did mine, and then Paul did his.
He couriered the same fabric to me to make.
Sent the fabric to Paul, but you bought your own.
I bought my own, but
you had to have your own French fabric.
Listen to this one. But I bought fabric just in case the courier didn't arrive because it had to be done that day, right? Just,
So we're in the video. We're actually in the video, and you're going
video.
to see the video in about.
You will see it.
I was going to say we need to wrap up because
it's time to watch.
Shall we take a couple of questions before we have to go?
Have we got time? Have we got time?
Do we have time?
We've got 7.
1 minute.
We have 1 minute.
1 minute?
Yeah, we need to build a little bit of time.
Oh, okay. You got to build in time. All right. One question. Well, the lady with the red tie.
Yeah. Do you have a question?
I had the time of my life at the Albert Hall.
The Albert Hall.
Were you watching the gig or doing something else?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which band was it that you went to see?
Some poem, Anyway,
it was fun.
Until this evening, which has been amazing.
Thank you.
Any more plans for the Albert Hall? Because doing that
not
again
at the moment, but we love the Albert Hall. I mean, what a
Listen, give it a bit of time. There'll be the 50th anniversary of every bloody album coming along soon.
Might be the 50th anniversary of Bauhaus Staircase. We'll do that.
50th, right? Okay.
Somebody actually asked me the other day.
Yeah, they did. That's right.
He said, you've been going 45 years. Do you think you'll be doing this in another 45 years? I went,
do they not
at
know
109, that might be tricky, but I'll give it a shot if I'm still alive.
That's what we want to hear, isn't it?
Yeah. If the Rolling Stones are still doing it, we'll do it.
There we go.
Listen, thank you very much. They're going to get the screen sorted out. You can see Anthropocene. Thank you,
everybody.
so much for coming out today.
Thank you all so much.
Oh, thanks, Steph. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you on tour, and we hope you like the album. Bye.
So for those of you here, we're going to watch the video on the big screen. For those of you watching at home, which those people over there, we've got it set up so that the video is going to be live on YouTube in just a second. So head over to YouTube, watch Anthropocene. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you, everyone.